Right, welcome, guys. This is Breakfast with the Brand, the number one podcast in the world for entrepreneurs and leaders who want to go from bland to industry leading brand. If you are tuned in live, whether this be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, go ahead, put your flames in the chat, and also let us know where you're listening in from. Now, today's podcast is actually going to be the continuation of a previous podcast. So, like we say in my country, if it's nice, you have to do it twice. And today I have with me Miss Olivia Russell. Now, for those of you who don't know Olivia, I'm going to read out a short bio in about a minute, right? And then we're going to bring out, okay? So, Olivia is a consummate professional with over 14 years of experience in education, project management, and event planning. With a Bachelor of Science in Physics from Dillard University and a Master's of Arts in Secondary Mathematics Education from Clark Atlanta University. She has dedicated her career to supporting the development of high quality educational materials for culturally and linguistically diverse students. But today, we're here to talk about her passion for creating tailored luxury experiences at Exkeys events. So, from corporate gatherings to private celebrations, Olivia and her team specializes in event management, planning, custom stationery, and event design that will leave a lasting impression on every single attendee. So let's dive in and hear more about her journey, her insights, and her secrets to success. So I want everybody to put some flames in the chat and help me to welcome on Miss Olivia Russell.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey Olivia, phenomenal day. How you doing?
Wonderful. How are you today? Hello.
Everything is absolutely phenomenal. No complaints. All right, guys. So phenomenal day. Everybody looking, go ahead, put it in the chat. Where are you listening in from? Olivia, what's going on in your neck of the woods? How things been with you since the last time we spoke?
Wonderful, wonderful. No complaints.
All right, nice. So I know we had a phenomenal conversation the last time. We got the opportunity to speak about luxury experience. We got the opportunity to speak about what actually goes into an experience, actually creating that. Today we're gonna be talking a little bit on the corporate side, right?
Absolutely.
And dealing with the business owners. So, guys, we're gonna be talking about, what kind of luxury events you want to create for your business, right? What is the planning process? What does that even look like? We might touch on the cost just a little bit, right?
A little bit.
Just a little bit, just a little bit. But Olivia, I'm super excited. I don't want to get into the meat of it just yet because we're due for a break in about 60 seconds, right? But before we do, is there
Mhm.
anything that you want to say to the people that are looking?
Good morning. Good morning. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. We are ready for an amazing show. And thank you, Junior, for having me again.
All right, great. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, guys, listen, if you have any questions about events, if you have any questions about luxury, if you have any questions about creating phenomenal experiences for your brand, then please go ahead and write these down. We'll be coming back after this short break. And don't forget, the system that we're working with is brand, offer, and event. So this means for you to be successful in business in general, in today's age, you need to have a brand. Number one, people have to know who you are. So you cannot keep being the world's best kept secret. You have to find a way to put your brand name out there, get people to associate what you do with excellence and with luxury, just like Olivia has. And number two, you have to have an offer, right? Business is very simple, guys. It's money in, which means that if you have no money coming in, you have no business. And how do you get money in? You have to have some kind of offer. But what I've noticed is that the people who are the best of the best in their space, they tie that brand, they tie that offer with a phenomenal event. And that's what we'll be talking about after the break with Olivia Russell. Stay tuned. This is Breakfast with the Brand. Let's grow.
It's very important that you know yourself to the highest degree possible, because it's through knowing ourselves that we're able to know other people. You are the most important person in the room, and the better that you know yourself, the better that you're able to communicate to others. So you're not only playing the game knowing who you are, but you're also playing the game knowing who everyone else is, so that you're not playing blind.
He's extremely engaging with people. He has a fantastic smile, and he's just very high energy person.
This is called leadership development. So we have to be independently knowledgeable and considerate to know who we are, so we can more effectively know who other people are. As the leader, it's your responsibility to allocate resources in the right places. If you don't know how to communicate effectively, you're losing the battle.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand, the number one podcast in the world for entrepreneurs and leaders who want to go from bland to industry leading brand. If you're viewing this live, go ahead, put your comments in the chat. Let us know where you're listening in from. Of course, I have with me the Bush Khalifa of event planning, Miss Olivia Russell. Welcome again, Olivia.
Good morning. Good
All
morning.
right, phenomenal day, phenomenal day. So let's get right into it, right? And by the way, guys, if you have any questions about events while we are going through this, please feel free to put them in the chat, whether you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, and also don't forget to share this broadcast. So if wherever you're viewing this, just hit the like button, hit the share button. Let's get this information to as many people as possible. So Olivia,
Yes.
I guess my first question is, since we're leaning into the corporate event space, what are some of the elements that go into making a phenomenal luxury event?
The elements that go into a phenomenal event. Okay, so let's think about your favorite wedding or whatever personal event that you've gone to when you think about what makes it memorable for you, right? It's really about making an experience for the audience, for the client. Bringing out the elements that would be memorable for an event. So whether it's making something that people have never done before, if it's bringing out elements that taste good, that feel good, creating an experience that the attendees have never had before are the elements that make an event the most memorable.
Yes, yes. So, in fact, Olivia, what I remember is the last time we spoke,
Uh-huh.
you went a little deeper into that in terms of the elements. So I know with Exquise,
Hmm.
your specialty is bringing out those elements using the five senses. So you often talk about, your ability to bring a certain smell to life, right? A certain scent, or maybe it's a certain feel that
Yes,
they're looking for.
yes.
So can you talk a little bit about that? Like the way that you incorporate the five senses into what you do with Exquise.
Yeah, so in talking with whoever is planning the event, so my clients, we talk through what's important or what's the essence. What do you want this event to? How do you want to capture the audience or captivate? Again, this is an experience. Are we wanting um, a feeling of invigoration? So that might be something where we're going to like the Porsche experience, or we're doing cars. Or
Mhm.
I talked last time about some skydiving or bringing helicopters. Like, what is it that you want? You want excitement? So we can have torches, fire torch, or whatever, something that's gonna
Right, right.
captivate the audience.
Yes.
It's a process of really gleaning out from the client what they want the experience to be. Is it a calm feeling that you want? I think it was Charmaine last time that said that she wanted peace and tranquility. So you would want to have those kind of sounds in the room type thing. So definitely tapping into the five senses, but it's a conversation between myself, my team, and the client to really craft what that experience is going to feel like.
All right. That sounds phenomenal. So what I'm hearing you say is you basically need a theme.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And based on that theme, you
Hmm.
are able to take it and go a lot deeper
Yes.
and just, guys, I promise you, I don't know how she does it, In fact, we're gonna play a video. Mr. B, can you cue a video from one of the events that um, Olivia did where Sean was actually speaking? So
Mhm.
we'll play one of those videos in a while.
Yeah.
But definitely, so what I'm hearing you saying is we need some kind of theme.
Uh-huh.
So whether the theme is, let's just say magic, let's say a magical theme, a Disney type theme,
Uh-huh.
um, or maybe the person they're looking for something with water, maybe they love water.
Yeah.
Is there any limitation to what you can create?
Oh no, the sky is the limit. This is the thing about creativity, right? And the sky is the limit. There is no limit. Whatever, and it can go from a small scale, and you just said it can be very small scale to as grand as one can imagine. So no, there is no limitation. And honestly, that's what I like about it. We don't have limitations. It's really whatever we can imagine and whatever we can put in a time frame for planning.
Wow. So you're literally saying I can basically do anything. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
So guys, it's basically your imagination. So how far can you stretch your imagination? Olivia, when I hear you say that, I'm very curious. How much of what you do involves like a little coaching process? Because sometimes people may not always know fully what they want to do. I experience that a lot with what I do. I'm
Mhm.
wondering if you experience the same when you
Absolutely.
work with clients. So clients have this general theme or sense of what they want to create, but they don't really, fully know. So they might say, "Well, I like water, I like this, I like that," but as far as the detail, like they don't always do. They always know all of the details, or how much of your work involves, actually working with the client one on one to help them clarify the process.
Okay, so I would say 90% of my job would be to help clarify and coach and kind of direct into, the path of translating the idea that comes from the client into that actual experience. Just as you mentioned, water, right? So I would have to ask questions like, well, how do we want to incorporate water into this theme? Is it that you want everyone to drink water? Do you want everyone to touch water, so yeah, there's a lot of coaching that goes into it. And then there are constraints with just the idea, if we're sticking with water, of what could be done with water. Some venues don't allow you to bring in certain things. So, there's a coaching process of taking that idea and translating it into the experience for the client. So yeah, there's a lot of coaching that is required there.
All right, that sounds absolutely phenomenal. So I think Mr. B actually has that clip. So guys, we're gonna roll one or two clips. We'll be right back. 60 seconds.
The reason why I did this and what I do is help leaders to become brands and brand themselves. You train people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. I teach authenticity marketing. If people can take advantage of you, they will in your personal or professional existence.
My biggest takeaway just from day one is you are the brand. I would recommend it to anybody that's really looking to build a personal brand.
Just the brand in general has changed my life. I've grown so much since I've been a part of this.
I see myself in what he does, and I believe in it just as much as I believe in myself.
I don't talk theory, I don't talk hyperbole, I don't talk opinion. Nothing I talk is anything but evidence-based.
During the G Circle retreat in Atlanta, I had the pleasure and the honor of listening to Mr. Sean Rais. He will not only impact your organization, but he will elevate your team to another level.
When you change you, when you put you into the equation, the whole system is different. I guarantee you, you got the right thing. You are the right person. If you can present yourself in the best way possible, there's no negotiation.
His energy
is infectious, and I have so many takeaways from the presentation that I can't wait to get started and implement them today to see the result.
All right, guys. So we're back. We're back. We're back. Go ahead, put it in the comments. I see Queen A. Shout out to Queen A. Phenomenal morning. So, guys, the last video you saw was actually organized by you, right? I think that was the G Circle with Coach K, correct?
Yep, in Atlanta. This
All right,
summer.
nice, nice. Yeah. So the next question is, right, Olivia, what kind of events would you recommend for corporations?
Okay, for corporations, especially for one similar to you all, the quarterly retreats for influencer communities, I think, is one that really is fit for this type of group for sure. For coaches or whatnot, having just that meet and greet face to face now that we're out of COVID once a quarter is one that I think is really great for this type of community for sure. Something like conferences that are held annually is also a really a type of event that's good for this type of community. But we do galas, which are really nice, more
Yeah.
fancy type event at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year. Or team building or leadership conferences are another type of event.
All right. So I want to know more about the gala. Like when you just said fancy and everything, I'm sure everybody looking is like, what is she talking about? I'm like, you sparked my interest there. So can you
Mhm.
tell us a little bit more about that,
A
about
gala.
the galas that, yeah, that you do?
So consider it a prom of sorts, right? Because most people identify with proms, dressier black tie events for an organization at the end of the year, or sometimes mid-year or whatnot, where you can do either fundraising for that type of event or to celebrate as an awards ceremony or whatnot, where you get most of your followers or whatever group within your organization together, but it's usually more of a formal event.
Very nice. Very nice. So let's talk about the elements that go into that. So I love when you said the black tie event. I think most people can identify with that.
Mhm.
And it just goes to show the level of class.
Mhm.
I haven't heard many people talking about doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that I'm very curious.
You
I,
have
I
many.
mean, I know of it. I know of it, but there are not many people in our space who actually do that. So for the people looking,
Mhm.
so I know many people looking now are coaches. So we have coaches looking, we have speakers,
Mhm.
right? We have some consultants. For that type of business, would
Yeah.
you also recommend, are you saying that you recommend black tie events?
I do. This is an opportunity. We are business people, right? So an
Yes, sir.
opportunity to showcase, an opportunity to network, and just to have a really good time. Yeah, I think we should.
All right, nice. So my next question is, how do you take what makes other people's brands special, like the elements that make a brand special,
Mhm.
and put that out in an event? How do you, because for example, let's say you're working with five different people.
Mhm.
Each of those brands have things about them that make them different, right? Each
Yeah.
of those brands. So how does your company take the things that make the brand special and convey that in an event?
Again, this is a conversation wherein we're extracting. And when you spoke earlier about coaching, it's really a matter of listening. What are those? Each person, as we talked through, in one of the courses, your brand is the embodiment of your self, your personality in your business, right?
Yeah.
So extracting those things. Some organizations wouldn't want to do a black tie event, right? They are more active or outside or would prefer it to be more comfortable and relaxed, which is perfectly fine. So it is really a part of in that conversation having a dialogue and saying what's important to you. You know, what are those tenets that your organization stands on? What are your values? Do you value black tie? Everyone doesn't necessarily, and that's not a bad thing, right? But what is it that you do value? And once we really pinpoint perhaps your top three values or whatever it is that you're trying to convey in the event, then we can go forward and structure it. And consistency. When we're talking about having 4 quarterly events, my team would make sure that there's a consistent thread throughout all of the events. So when your clients or attendees come, it's very similar, the experience that they receive throughout those 4 events for the year.
All right, nice, nice. Guys, by the way, if you're looking at this and you have any questions, please go ahead, just put them in the comments. I'm going to read a comment here by Miss Allison. So she said, we held a sunset cocktail hour on the beach in Puerto Rico
Hmm.
between two conferences, held a silent auction and raffle to support local student athletes.
Love it.
Wow, that sounds absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
I
What are your
love,
thoughts on that, Olivia? Because
I love it.
me
Uh-huh.
reading that comment, I'm wondering because everybody knows that I live on an island, guys. So for those of you who don't know me, I live on a really beautiful island in the eastern part of the Caribbean.
Mhm.
Um, and Puerto Rico is in the Caribbean as well. So I'm curious, at Exkeys, do you also cater for that type of luxury, exotic travel, private island? Do you also do that kind of stuff?
Oh, I do. I do. And Puerto Rico is Isla Verde is one of my favorite islands in Puerto Rico. But oh, I do. I coordinate travel. I love to do events. Again, this is whatever. There is no limit to what we can create. So, and I love to create on islands. So I definitely appreciate what was said, and then also having that great cause of supporting the local students and all of those things. So yeah, yes.
Definitely. Yeah, that's a phenomenal cause. That's a phenomenal cause, especially in Puerto Rico.
Hmm.
We have a question.
Okay.
So Elan says, Mistress Olivia Russell, what inspires you in the business?
What inspires me? Ooh. Okay, we kind of talked about that though. The opportunity to create. As you said, Junior, I've done education, um, which was a passion of mine, and transitioned into the business world in program management, and had an experience in, as an executive. But what I really, really, really love in event planning is just the opportunity to create, and not to have boundaries in the creation. So, giving me any theme and the opportunity to present options with it and to be creative is what really inspires me.
I think that was a phenomenal question. Phenomenal question. And when you said that,
Hmm.
like my mind, my mind literally went to Dubai. My mind went to Dubai in the the hotel in the clouds. You know what I'm talking about? There's a hotel in Dubai. When you wake up, you stand outside in the
Hmm.
balcony.
Hmm.
You're literally in the clouds. And when you say a life with no limits or an event or,
Hmm.
or planning with no limits, that's what I think about. I'm curious to know from the people looking, what are some ideas that you guys have for events? Go ahead, put that in the comments. What are some ideas? I
Just
just want to see how far people's imagination stretch. Because I think one second, Olivia. I think a lot of the times when we say events, a lot of people think about, for example, renting out a conference room, or you know, we tend to think in boxes as people. Human beings tend to think in boxes. So we think in a room, we think inside, we always think inside the box, most of us, right? But based on what you're saying, it could be outside, it could be anywhere. That's what I'm gathering. That's what I'm gathering.
absolutely. I want to piggyback on that idea. You said in the clouds, right? That
Yeah.
inspired you. So what just came to mind for me would be, let's do an event in the clouds, right? There are things such as cloud machines. I would have our guests walk in and have clouds everywhere, and what an experience to walk into, like, where am I? Where am I? And then in the reveal, we're in a room up in the sky somewhere. We can do that these days, right? Create cloud in a room.
Okay,
Hmm.
guys, you heard it. You heard it. I've never been to a party with man-made clouds, but I hope to be able to do that very soon. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, go ahead, put them in the chat. We're actually due for another break. But Olivia, I love that idea.
Mhm,
Actually, and I want to get your opinion on this. I saw a video the other day.
mhm.
It was similar to being inside of a. I think the people they were in some sort of pool, right?
Okay.
And then they had screens all around them, and
Mhm,
the screens were simulating this like stormy weather with lightning and all of
mhm.
the different elements, and it was absolutely amazing. They had surround sound, so it
Yeah.
was literally like sitting or being in a pool in a storm. They had, they had like rain and everything. It was raining and they were in a pool and like they were surrounded by this huge screen.
Mhm.
And when you say an event with no limits
Yeah.
or an experience with no limits, rather, that's what I think about.
Yes, absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on that?
So let's go back to when I was a child. They used to tell me to get out the pool when it rains and lightning, thunder, right? So that experience is um, counter kind of some of the things that we were told as children, right? However, maybe that for those attendees, they wanted to shock themselves and create that element of lightning, thunder while raining, right? So
Yes.
while swimming, lightning, thunder, and rain while swimming. So again, it's the experience that you're seeking. Um, yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, guys. So we're gonna go to a quick break. When we get back, more with Olivia Russell. Stay tuned. This is Breakfast with the Brand, and don't forget the system. The system is brand, offer, event. If you don't have a brand, there's no point in doing an event. You have to have a brand. You have to have something to sell. You have to have an offer, and then you top it off with a luxury style personalized event by Miss Olivia Russell. We'll be right back after this short break.
Business is like a game of chess. It's not checkers. If you don't know how to lead with a personal brand, then you're losing the battle.
Everything about Sean's talk was fantastic. I mean, I got so much from it.
So he was really bringing fire and passion and his love and spirit to let everybody else know how do you become a leader amongst the leaders.
You hold the key in your hand. There is more power in this phone than there was that took the first man to the moon.
His energy, his dynamic information, gave a really great presentation.
I didn't ask for any money. I didn't have an offer. I had a heart to help people and meet them where they were at and find their need and fulfill it.
Sean is the bomb.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand. And of course, we have Miss Olivia Russell with us, CEO of Exquise Events. And we're talking about how you could build your brand, build your offer, and also build your luxury event. Olivia, I want to read a comment here
Okay.
by Allison.
Good morning, Allison.
Phenomenal day, Allison. So Allison says our brand is built on helping the helpers,
Mhm.
opening doors, making a difference. The event was in, this is the same place you were talking about, right?
Yes,
How do you pronounce it? It's
it's
Isla
covered.
Verde. Isla
Yes,
Verde.
Verde.
At the Courtyard Marriott, very budget friendly, 40 attendees of diverse groups, harm reduction, HIV advocates, local and federal government, and researchers, our intersection, all those who help others but don't necessarily know one another. Okay.
Beautiful.
Definitely, and she did put a website here.
Hmm.
So what I want to do, Mr. B, can you drop Olivia's put Olivia's scheduler? So anybody looking, if you want to connect with Olivia, you should be able to set up an appointment. So let's
Hmm.
put that on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook as well. So perhaps you can connect with Allison and you could
Yeah.
talk more on the back end about that. All right. So guys, we're talking about luxury events. We're also talking about your brand. I do want to stress again that listen, if you want to get into business, if you want to have a phenomenal event, then of course you need to have a phenomenal brand. In fact, Olivia, I want to ask you, like, how important is it? Because remember, you're selling luxury.
Yes.
So talk to us about the branding, like your personal branding
Hmm.
when it comes to making this successful. When I say this, I mean the company being able to successfully sell and market yourself and position yourself as a luxury event planner. How important is it that you pay close attention to the details of your personal brand?
Yeah, it's super important. It is extremely, extremely, extremely important. One, to distinguish, our company from others, because one of the things that we pride ourselves on is definitely the details, right? Making sure that we take the time to listen to the needs of your company and that we're very, very specific and intentional on how we weave in the threads of what you're doing. So differentiating between a party, right, and a corporate event, having that experience that all of the team members that are on my team have had in different industries is really important. And that's what I highlight. We're professionals. We all come from professional backgrounds and have a passion for events. So we know the intricacies of planning, corporate events with people who are in corporations. So um, just as you asked, the branding is extremely important and making sure that we're able to highlight how we are different from other event planning organizations.
Very nice. Now, when it comes to the success of
Mhm.
this event, how much of the success of the event depends upon the kind of offer that the client has? So, for example, I know you've done events with Sean.
Mhm.
We have a phenomenal offer. We have branded like a leader. We have the leadership leverage. These are high ticket offers.
Yes.
So, when planning events for other brands, do you see a difference, or is there a difference, or is how much of the success is hinged upon the kind of offer,
Mhm.
the type of offer, the price of the offer, whether or
Uh,
not it's a good offer or not? It might be maybe they want to do an event, but the offer is not. You understand what I mean? It's not the best offer. So how
yeah.
much of the success is hinged on that?
So I would say a lot of it, because a part of pairing it with those that have their offer together, clarity. We talked about clarity in what you want, like knowing who your target audience is, who those attendees will be, what you want the outcome of the event would be. As we go through this process, we have clarity in, that target market. Having those ideas kind of formulated helps when we have this conversation and consultation piece to craft the event as well.
Okay, nice, nice. How often should somebody start the event planning process?
As soon as they know that they want an event, right? I have companies that have done retainers for us a year in advance. Uh, I do want to say, very similar to a wedding, the further in advance that you give us notice, the more awesome the event can be. Let me give a very specific example. Hotels right now perhaps haven't put out their new prices for 2023. So if there is a organization that wants to do 4 quarterly events, we could get perhaps a discount for locking in the dates now versus waiting till a month before the event and trying to lock in the dates. As you all know, a lot of concerts are picking back up for the summer series. So if there's anyone that's interested in having events during the summer, it'd be price conscientious if we were to go ahead and lock in dates now for attendees and doing room blocks and those type of things now versus wait until June when everyone's on vacation and trying to lock down hotel accommodations for guests.
All right, nice. And what does the process look like?
Hmm.
So we know we're supposed to get started as soon as possible.
Hmm.
Is there a limit? So let's say somebody wants to do an event in, well, we're basically in February, almost in February.
Uh-huh.
If I wanted to do an event in March and I approached you right now, would you tell me that it's a little too late
No,
to engage?
no, but I would set expectations that it's going to require all hands on deck, right? Which means that you probably have to meet weekly, perhaps twice or three times a week. You'd have to know who on your team. If there's no one on your team, I have to throw my whole team into it, which is perfectly fine. We just talk about expectations, and it moved very, very quickly to be a successful event. Um, I like to level set and set expectations on the front end when we do the consultation of what it required to do a successful event. I believe in transparency and all of those things. So if you wanted to do it in March, it's not ideal, but we can definitely make it happen.
All right, very nice. Um, just for the people viewing, do you only do luxury events? So let's say that somebody viewing right now, maybe they just want to have a baby shower. Maybe they just want to have just a little family gathering. Maybe they don't want to do something that's very grand. Like, do
Okay.
you also cater for people who want to do stuff like that as well?
So I'm going to challenge that a little bit, right? Because we can do
Yeah.
grand baby showers, we can do luxury baby showers, and the number, right, and the type doesn't, for me, distinguish what the luxury is. So I do personal events for sure. So we can do the three or four people events, right? We can do personal events. We can do corporate events. Yeah, absolutely. We can do all of those, and those
Nice.
luxury.
Of course, of course. In fact, one question I wanted to ask you was about the personalized luxury services.
Hmm. Hmm.
So tell us more about that. Like, what do these include?
Okay, so I have connections with a personal stylist that my clients want that executive look. So the stylist I set up appointments with, who is a part of my employee, and he will either you can fly into Atlanta or to New York to have personal styling appointments with him. Um, we also do collaborations with, I have a sommelier, a mixologist. We can do cigar rolling experiences, just a plethora of connections that I have depending on what's needed for an event. So it's really, like I said, the sky is the limit. We talk through what it is that you want, and more than likely, I have a connection or can find a connection um, to make that experience come to life for you. We've done golf events, had private golfing sessions for some of the clients. Honestly, you name it, whatever that looks like, shopping events for some of the clients, luxury dinner settings, private chefs, and all that that fly out to wherever it is, or you can have just a personal setting with our chef. So, I have connections with a lot of different things. It would really be a consultation to figure out what's needed, but whatever it is, like I said, the sky is the limit.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And what are some of the advantages of having a luxury event planner? So everybody, number one, guys. So let me preface this question, right? Everybody plans an event at some point in their life.
Hmm.
Like if you're viewing this right now, at some point you're going to have an event that you want to plan. So the question becomes, do I do it myself? I know most people opt to do it themselves, right?
They do.
Like when they think about it, they're like, well, I need to do this, I need to go over there, I need to do that, I need to travel to like Allison, I need to go to Puerto Rico. I can just do this myself. So my question is, what is the advantage of having somebody like you
Mhm.
at their side helping them to plan the actual experience?
Okay, so one thing is the planning part. Again, I have professionals that do all of those things. There are questions that if you're not um, familiar, if this is not the thing that you do all of the time, calling to the hotel, for example, making sure that your guests are registered, negotiating room blocks and catering and making sure that everyone arrives on time, remembering which vendors you need. I mean, if I go down the list of all of those things that myself and my team are accustomed to doing, really we're taking all of that legwork from you individually so that you don't forget to do some of those things. As the business owner, there's so many things that you all are doing on a day-to-day basis, really hiring us to do these things, and that we do it so often it's secondhand, just relieves the stress in the planning process. And then my team checks in and says, this week we have your room block, we have so and so. All we need from you is the list of attendees. So that's one aspect. In the execution, it's very, very critical. So the day of, you get to host or mingle with your guests versus having to be back behind the scenes, making sure that catering has shown up or putting tablecloths on the table or those type of things. So just the value of having a team takes you as the person that's hosting the event away from actually having to do all of the legwork to make sure that it's successful.
Yeah, when you said that, the word that came to mind was positioning, brand positioning.
Right.
Guys, if you're viewing this right now, I want you to think about it. What would it be like if let's say you're an influencer, you're a business owner, you're throwing an event, and then one of your clients walks in and you're laying out the tablecloth and all of that. To me, it looks better and it's better positioning to have a team do that stuff for you. So we often talk about branding, right? This is Breakfast with the Brand. And our main thing here is helping you to build an influencer brand. Having somebody like Olivia at your side is definitely going to help with your brand positioning. In fact, I could remember Sean, when Sean goes to speak, he has like this mini entourage. So if you've ever seen Sean speak, when he walks into the room, he has Mr. B, the rest of the team. They're often behind him, often filming him, often taking pictures, and it just adds to the positioning.
Yes.
Which of course adds to the experience, which of course adds to the price. It affects the bottom line and everything. So I find that very interesting. What are your thoughts on that, as far as how hiring you could help business owners to position their brand in a better way when hosting events?
It's necessary. It is absolutely necessary. I can't hone in on that enough, like to reiterate that enough. It is almost impossible for someone to, and it can be done, but let's talk about the ease of walking into your event and having to, like you just said, do tablecloths. It doesn't look good, right? It doesn't look good to the audience, and I'm sure it doesn't feel good as a person that has to do it, right? So if we're at this level, you would want someone that's taking care of those things for you so that you can focus on your craft. You want to make sure that your guests are taken care of. You want to walk through the room and interact with your guests, not having to put down tablecloths or check on catering or any of those, or sign your guests in. There should be someone at the table. It's necessary to have an entourage.
All right. Guys, we're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, more with Olivia Russell. If you have any questions, go ahead, put it in the chat. Any comments? So maybe you don't have a question. What is something that you learned today? Put it in the chat. Any questions, any comments, any inquiries? Go ahead, put it back. We'll be right back after this short break. Let's go.
I said Sean Ride East. I'm proud. Sean Ride East. Leadership is not the brand they made for us.
Listen, he brought fire, heat. He didn't hold back.
20 years down the line, what I could sell, why not serve first? Service over salary. Branding like a leader closes the gap for people who want branding. Speaking like a leader closes the gap for people who are nervous about speaking. If Steve Jobs would have speculated, we wouldn't have Apple.
He changed lives. He helped people open up their business and start their business.
We are the brand. Some people say, Sean, should I quit my job? Mentally, yes.
As a speaker, too, to be able to learn from him and watch him and game respects game. And I want to have that much game someday.
The right client, pay $500,000 for what you do. You have to be bold. in your
He
beliefs.
has been an amazing asset to this event and a pleasure to work with. Very captivating, collaborative, worked very well with the audience.
I want to help you. Put a 0 behind your number, right?
The session was great. How he is online, virtually, he is even more phenomenal in person.
Be the face of change that you want to see. Stop asking questions and start giving demands.
The entire team has just been absolutely incredible. They are a joy to work with. They go above and beyond.
Give yourself a round of applause. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, guys. So welcome back. Of course, this is Breakfast with the Brand. Go ahead, put it in the comments. What is the number one thing that you took away today from Miss Russell? What is the number one thing? Olivia, I mean, I took away so much. You really expanded my mind a little bit and helped me to think about events in a different way.
Okay.
I think experience is the proper word for
Yes.
event. Experience is the proper word for event because it's not when people say event, a lot of us we think about, you know, a wedding or a
Mhm.
party or and that's fine. But when we start talking about waking up somewhere in the clouds in Dubai, like that's a little bit different. So you've suddenly expanded my mind.
Mhm.
Um, my question is like, where can people reach you? I want
Okay.
to put up, if we can, Mr. B. So let's talk about where they can reach you,
Mhm.
Olivia, and then we're gonna put up a link that will allow them to contact you.
Yes.
So where can they reach you?
Okay. So I think you're putting my calendar link in, but I have a Facebook page and Instagram, Exquisite Events Atlanta. I'll also leave my email, and for everyone in the brand, you can contact me through the brand. So I will leave my information in, and I look forward to hearing from all of you.
Definitely, guys. So if you want to hear more from Olivia, just go ahead, send us a message wherever you're viewing this. Send it on YouTube,
Mhm.
send it on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook as well,
Mhm.
and just just let us know. Let us know your event ideas. Let us
Yeah.
know your event ideas. Olivia,
Yes.
what is coming up for Exkeys in 2023? What are some interesting things that you have coming up?
So, end of the month, which I know we're approaching now, so within the next week or two, the website will be launched. We're going to do a women empowerment brunch in around Mother's Day, so second quarter, which is going to be really, really nice in Atlanta. And a few new things that are on the brink that we're going to announce very, very soon. So I'm excited about that.
All right, very nice. By the way, I'm curious, is it possible for somebody viewing this to come to one of your events in Atlanta? So you just said that you're doing something around Mother's Day, right?
Yes.
Is that an open event? Like, are they
It
able to buy a ticket and come in? Is that possible?
Absolutely. Yes. So I'll be posting flyers and information about that very, very soon. Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
So, guys, this is actually an opportunity for you to get to experience, well, Olivia's work, right?
Yeah.
It's actually a phenomenal opportunity. So, if you're curious, if you're looking at this and you're wondering, okay, well, I like Olivia, but I want to see more of her work. Like this is a phenomenal opportunity to experience it firsthand. And Olivia, could you tell us like where can they get tickets? Where would that be possible?
I will send a link. We're not selling them yet. But as soon as
Okay,
we're ready to sell tickets, I will share it with the group.
very nice. We have a comment here from Cheryl. So
Okay.
Cheryl M, phenomenal day to you. So Cheryl says, I took away that no event is too small or too big for you. And it's about capturing the experience. That's right. I love that.
I
I
love
love
it.
that. And
Yeah.
I think we touched on that when we spoke about the personal luxury event experiences.
Hmm.
I'm curious. So, for the people looking, let's say the people who may be married or you have a partner, I think we know Valentine's Day is coming up, right? So, a lot
Yeah.
of the times people like to do things that are special on that particular day.
Hmm.
What would be an example of an experience? So, walk us through an experience from the sight, the sound, the smell, the touch. Give us a sample. Give us something, Olivia. Like, what would
Well,
you be able to create? For a couple who wants to do something special on that day.
it's funny that you ask. So one of the things that we're doing for Valentine's Day, which I'm going to post information about starting February 1st, is a package, let's say, for executives. Valentine's this year starts is on Monday. So what we're going to be doing is to-go packages for a couple, which is going to include like a tablecloth, centerpiece, uh, dinnerware, which would be like a charger, plate, and all of those things packed. Um, the chef is going to prepare a menu that you can select of a meal for two. And then our mixologist is going to prepare some drinks as well. So you would pick up this package, perhaps after work, and go do a candlelight dinner for two. So, the husband, the wife, whomever, right, partners would just
Yes.
come pick up this package with tablecloth, with full dinner settings, with, champagne flutes and all that, along with the crafted drink and a phenomenal meal and sit down. It's already packaged, just warm it up type thing. So we'll be selling those packages starting February 1st for anyone that's interested. And it's, of course, it's going to be local in Atlanta, but that's one of the things that we're going to do for Valentine's.
Hold on. So you're saying that all of this is already packaged, meaning the drink from the mixologist and everything?
Yeah, yeah, and they get to select which meal package they want from the chef, and then I'll have like a table for two setting done with all of the flatware and china, nice centerpiece with candles and all that type of thing, so you can do a candlelight dinner at your home.
Wow. That is actually very creative and very, very, very interesting, right? I
Yeah.
would love to see. In fact, I want to know more about that. I want to know more about that. So is it only available for people in Atlanta or would you be willing to, let's say somebody in New York wants to do that, like would you be able to ship it for them or like how does that work?
So at the moment, I can ship the packaging for the tables to
Yes,
New York, and I could find someone to outsource the meal. I wouldn't be able to do the meal at the moment, but give me a little time. I can figure that out. But definitely the table settings for sure.
very nice. So Cheryl M says, sounds amazing. So
It is.
Cheryl, if you want to learn more about it, I don't know where Cheryl is based. Maybe she's in Atlanta, maybe she's not. I'm not sure, but I'm sure you'll be able to help out, right? At
Ab-
least a couple ideas.
Hey, you will have the link to Facebook and to the calendar. I have ideas. Hey, we might send the chef out to you. He's willing to fly.
Yeah, so guys, it's simple. This is it, facebook.com/, Exquise Events Atlanta.
Mhm.
And you could just go in there, type in Olivia Russell as well, and you'll see her face will pop up right on the screen. You'll be able to talk to her. So contact us, Cheryl, or anybody looking who actually wants to learn more about that. Like that really sounds like absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Because I know for the guys are gonna be running around. I think men and women are a little different when it comes to that. Like Guys normally wait for the last moment. Some of us wait for the last moment,
Don't
just
wait.
grab something very quickly, and just. But we're phenomenal though at putting stuff together, so that's not a problem. So Cheryl says, "Oh, look
Okay.
at that! I'm based in Atlanta, and I would contact you for sure."
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. So connect with her. I'll put it up again. Facebook. So facebook.com/Excuse Events Atlanta, or just type in Olivia Russell, and you should be able to contact her. All right. So Olivia, we're about to end the show in a few minutes. Tell us more about your growth with the brand, because guys, for those of you who don't know, Olivia will be working with us a lot moving forward when it comes to the creation of events. So she'll be partnering with the Sean Raiz brand to create phenomenal events for all of you viewing.
Yes.
So tell us more about the experience and the growth, because personally I've seen a lot of growth from you with everything. I mean, your brand development, your confidence, your everything has improved. But I want to hear from you, like, what has your experience been in terms of your development and growth?
My experience has been amazing, again, with the brand, going through the course and really honing in on, my target customer, ideal client, personas, and then, transitioning the social media and really even being here with you today. So it's been a phenomenal transition for me in the last 4 months with the business.
Very nice, very nice. Again, guys, I'm gonna put it up one more time. If you need to contact Olivia, just go to facebook.com/Excuse Events Atlanta, or just type in Olivia Russell on Facebook and you should be able to find her. All right, so Olivia, we're about to end. Okay. Is there anything you want to say? Give us a word of inspiration. Give us a word of motivation. Like, what motivates you? Because you've been in this space for almost 15 years.
Yeah. Yes.
What motivates you to keep going? I'm
Create.
sure you've encountered difficulties. I'm sure you've encountered, you know, little hiccups in the road. What keeps you going?
So for me, this is again my passion. You see all my artwork, colors, the ability to we talked about having the sky is the limit, right? This is what's motivating me. This is my passion, and everyone that's in my group, their passion as well, making the events that communicate a message, uh, living in my passion. This is what motivates me every day.
All right. Thank you so much, Olivia. Of course, a pleasure as usual. Thank you to everybody viewing. This has been another episode of Breakfast with the Brand. We will be back. But check this out. It's not just going to be next Saturday. So Sean and I will be live on Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in for another episode of Breakfast with the Brand. Have a phenomenal day. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Olivia. And let's grow.
All right. Have a great day.